Okay, let's continue with, let's do Lincoln's Lagoon again, yeah. We don't
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That was so not energetic. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That was awesome. Great to have the choir behind me. Welcome, everybody. I am so super, super energized. I was just downstairs with a room full of magnificent littles. Bart Hall is jam-packed with people under the age of, I don't know, 3 maybe, something like that. I stepped on a few of them accidentally. They're hard to find. They're so cute, and they're running around, and their parents and friends were here, and that was super fun. And then I came upstairs, and I saw all of you, and I got lots of hugs, and that's super fun, and we get to be here together for Shabbat, so that's super fun. So please turn to the people around you, say hello and Shabbat Shalom, introduce yourself.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom every time.
I would like to, on this very special evening of Shabbat, of our Koleynu Choir, of us being together, we also, of course, come together to celebrate Cantor Toby Glaser, who's been with us for, I was going to say 3 years, but we're just coming up to 3. I was trying to think about when you first arrived and when we first met you in this space. No one had ever heard of COVID-19, ever. And that's hard to remember back that far, but it's been almost 3 years that you've been with us, and tonight we get to celebrate your music, your prayer, your accomplishments here. So our service should be extra musical because all of you pour your heart and soul into filling our beautiful sanctuary with music. Let me just ask, I don't think so by looking around, anybody here never been here before? No, okay, great. Well, if you haven't, or you haven't been here in a long time, an extra big welcome. And if this is your regular community, a huge welcome. I would like to invite Judy Wexler, President of the Board of Trustees, to share some words of welcome tonight as well. I think so. No, it's not on.
Yes, thank you. Shabbat Shalom. It's wonderful to see all of you here today. I know that if this wasn't such a momentous occasion, that many people here, including people who are quite close to me, would be home watching the Warriors game saying, I will check this later. As thinking about tonight, it's a very, this is a bittersweet moment. I always feel when I'm talking to somebody who is young and at the start of their career, that it's wonderful when they make a decision to take their next step and do something that is advancing their career. And so part of my heart is really happy for Toby that he's found what is his next step. And the other part of my heart is sad to see you move on and to say goodbye to the music that you have brought to us and also the spirit in terms of services. It's been wonderful to see you, especially with the teens. And there were moments in the high holidays when when you brought up teens who you really hadn't met in person, that was so moving and was exactly what we hope our Jewish community would give to our next generation. Toby started here at a very strange moment in the life of the world. We hired him when we were seeing people face to face, and by the time he arrived, we were on lockdown, and all of us were living in our homes in ways that we never lived before, and were reluctant to go outside, and I've been trying all day to bring myself back into that, how my mind felt at that moment, how inwardly we were looking and trying to figure out what this reality of the pandemic really meant to us. So we got to know you first on a screen, and on a screen in which I got to see your beautiful smile, the way you turned inward when you sang, and as I've told you many times, the way your voice filled my house. For me, the pandemic was a very special time in my life as a Jew, because for the first time in my life, I really looked forward to going to services. And I look forward to it because those Friday night services marked a change in my endless days of trying to work and run a university from my living room. And so the music and that it filled my house really brought me into another place and connected me with not only the present, but also with our whole history, and helped me think about the generations of Jews that sang these prayers, that said these words, and that went through much harder times. And so my experience of you, Toby, is all caught up with all of these very complex and very deep and very moving experiences. Coming together as we came back and were able to actually be in the same room, but remember, I'm sure you remember those first services where you were up there and we were back there, and we all worried about, we didn't hug, not only did we hug, we didn't even want to be within 6 feet of each other. So it's been almost 3 years, and in some ways those 3 years are 30 years long, and in some ways those 3 years are 3 weeks long, because they really, the pandemic stopped time in some ways. And through it all, I think it's been important to this community what you've brought, the way that you've worked with the choir and with the rest of the congregation. And I know we all really wish you well and hope that you will come back, even in an email, and let us know how you're doing. And for all of you who are sitting here and thinking, ooh, I haven't yet put anything on the kudo board to say something to Toby about the experience, if you look on the insert, you will see a QR code, which will take you right to the kudo board. And you can write something. If you have pictures, post those pictures, because that's always so much fun when you're looking back at an experience to see pictures. We are going to keep it open for several days into next week so that we give everybody a chance to write something, and then we will put it together and get it to Toby, so he has, amongst his many memories of us, he will have those of individual pictures and words from people in the congregation. And as long as I'm standing here holding this up, there's a second QR code that you can link to the gala. And if you haven't yet gotten your tickets, there's still some space. So definitely do it. So Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So Cantor Toby Glaser needs no introduction, especially tonight. I'm Rabbi Jessica Graff. We're joined by Jonathan Dimmick, our music director, on the beautiful piano here, and our fantastic Koleynu Choir. So all of you know who's up here, and we're so delighted to be together. I would like to invite Diane Fellman and maybe Alan Mervis. Is he here? Oh, he's behind me. And Alan Mervis. Diane is the president of the Hills of Eternity Board. Alan is on our board of trustees, but most importantly, they represent the ad hoc COVID committee, Cantor's COVID committee, that was suddenly formed in July of 2020. And we're so grateful for all that you did to help bring Toby into this insane city in this insane time. So we thank you for baking for him and cooking for him and like throwing it through the door, right? Which is what we had to do. So please, in your leadership roles on behalf of the congregation, will you light our Shabbat candles, please?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליקnem shel Shabbat.
I'll invite you here. I know you have some words of thanks for Cantor Glaser.
Thank you, Rabbi Graff, and I think following you and Judy Wexler, the exact words. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Diane Bellman.
Shabbat Shalom.
Just introduced, and it is a bittersweet moment. Toby, where are you? And I'm having this honor because Alan and I were the ad hoc, unofficial COVID welcoming committee, and I've just written a few things that I wanted to share with you. So you came, you knocked on our door one night, and then we didn't see you in person for the next few months, even though you were living in our studio apartment at the ground level of our floor, our house. And, you know, I just heard sort of these shouted thank yous when I'd knock on the door, because I was one of those COVID crazy breakers, and I'd have bakers, and I'd have, you know, Ruth's challah recipe, and I'd drop off a challah and go, and then you go, thank you. So that was really fun. And then you figured out how to Zoom from our studio apartment into all of our homes, and that just added so much. I won't say what I was going to say, because I'll just repeat what Jessica and Judy have already said, that it was so meaningful to have that connection and you were in a box, we were all in boxes, but somehow we were all joined together, and through your music, that just made COVID, that's a special time for the Sherith Israel, my experience with the Sherith Israel community. And then when we gathered in person, you conquered our congregation with your open-hearted spirit and your really, really, really beautiful voice. So I want to say that we are so appreciative for you broadening our horizons, bringing a new beat to our services with your drum, which we hadn't heard before, and just enriching our spiritual experience here at Sherith Israel. So thank you so much for everything, and good luck in the future, and we hope you come back sometime.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you so much.
We will continue on page 20 of our Sidurim with Lecha Dodi as we welcome Shabbat to come into this space with us.
Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, לנשמה, לקבלה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, לנשמה, לקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ולתפילה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, את נשמה לקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, את נשמה לקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, בראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורף ומאורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום את ארץ בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה.
We remain standing. Oh my goodness. We remain standing and turn to page 28 for Baruch Hu. We turn to page 32 and read together in the middle of the page. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. I understand that our teens are going to lead us for Ve'ahavta, so please come on up, teens.
Why not? Come over here.
Look at this lovely crowd. Amazing. Page 36.
Thank you. It was great to hear you one last time, team. Thank you so much.
We turn to page 39 and join together in one of my favorite readings in this Siddur. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
משה ומרים, זה שנאמר כי ברא את יעקב וגאלו מי החזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 42, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and we pray over Yerushalayim, the city of peace. We turn to page 253 in our Sidurim as we come together as a community. We pray for the healing, the wholeness, the peace of those in our lives and in our hearts who are in need of peace and of good health. I'd like to invite Maddie Krantz to come up, and I'm going to turn on my phone for the first time ever in the history of my life at Shabbat services to give Maddie her words, her beautiful words that she wrote. We could not get them out of the phone today, so Maddie will read them from here. But you're much younger than I am. You're used to this, right? You're fine.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Manny.
As a lot of you know, most weeks I get called up to lead a prayer during Mariv on Shabbat. Sometimes it's Hashkivenu, sometimes Mishabera, and sometimes other prayers with my fellow teens. I'm super grateful to be able to do this, and I owe this blessing to our beloved Cantor Toby. Last November, Cantor Toby asked me if I wanted to sing for the congregation. I was like, what? I remember being nervous but enjoying the experience. Now, 6 months later, I've sung a lot and shared my thoughts about important issues and some of my favorite musicians. Thank you, Cantor Toby, for giving me this chance to share my voice with our wonderful community. It means so much to me. You will always be my favorite cantor.
Thank you, Manny.
Mishabera avotenu mekor Abraham imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
On this Shabbat, we pray for the healing of Tzur Miriam Bat Chana B'Moshe, Feivel Ben Sivia, Jim Blattner, who we're delighted is able to be with us here in the sanctuary tonight, Daniel Burton, Cantor Martin Feldman, who's recovering nicely, Bob Fonero, Stephen Gerbsman, William Kuryan, Fred Nervo, Dennis Ozer, Philip Rosenberg, Agnes Rothblatt, Kristen Zeitzer, and others whom you mention with love out loud now as we pray for them.
Nina Bonos.
Mishabera imotenu mekor Abraham avotenu. To those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn to page 44 for Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
You guys sound amazing, by the way. So nice to have you right here. Beautiful. We turn to page 46 for the central part of our service, our Amidah standing prayer, and I invite you all to just take a moment to set your intention, your own kavanah, as we prepare to stand individually here and in community. When you feel ready to join community, please stand.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevii geula לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, עזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריר אתה. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחייב, מצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. אלוהי נצור, לשוני מרע, ושפתי מדבר מרמה.
What a wild 3 years we've all had. I'm so grateful as we're here tonight together that we are here tonight together. 3 years ago, this seemed nearly impossible. Just couldn't figure out what this would ever look like, coming back to some kind of normal interaction. As Diane was talking about sort of throwing the food towards Toby, I was thinking back on our experiences, all of us, and Howard coming over with scarce and coveted yeast. We threw over the gate and then texted from the car, "It's safe, it's safe." Did you ring the bell? Maybe you rang the bell. But there was actually no human interaction up close. And thankfully, we can come back together in changed and strange ways to hug and to sing and to be back together. So I was just reflecting over these last days and weeks about these 3 years and thinking about all the crazy things, and I realized that you are one of the very few cantors, I think, in the world who has the distinction of being able to say that the High Holiday format was different in every single year of your career. You started off after just arriving with this crazy setup of pre-recorded services with drone shots from here, which were beautiful, but they didn't teach us about that at HUC, right? We didn't know what to do with drone shots during a High Holiday service. That was the first year. The next year, we were here in this space, but nobody else was. We were here, right? Some of you were here. We were here. Koleynu wasn't here?
Not that
The second year.
We had to, because there was like the Omicron thing, and we had to cancel Koleynu the second
Okay, they were, right. It was even worse than I remember. About 5 people were in this space, and we were here, and we were singing our hearts out, and there was silence. So that was the second year, and you did an amazing job of bringing us High Holidays again. And then on the third year, thankfully, we were back together, we were here, it was a little bit different, but we were making it work. So I hope for you and for all of us that there will be no more changes to High Holiday formatting for the rest of your career until retirement. It should stay just like this. But I think of all of the wonderful things that you brought us. I think of you as I think of the High Holidays, which really showcase the music of the Cantor of Chazanut. And you not only brought us such beautiful High Holiday music, as people have talked about, also Shabbat music, but I think you showed the best of what a cantor is, what leadership is, when you came in and just pivoted, made the High Holidays beautiful, and made them work for all of us for 3 years in a row in such strange conditions. It was really wonderful to be able to work together to bring something that was so meaningful to people, especially when we couldn't be in the way that we were used to. So as I thought back, there's so many things that we have learned from you, so many things through beautiful music and through your teaching. You have done extraordinary teachings for us about all different prayers and brought us such a thoughtful way of looking at so much of our liturgy and so much of the prayerful words that you love, that you clearly love as you bring them to us. I hope you've learned a lot from your time here too. I'm sure over these coming weeks and months and years, you'll reflect back over what Sherith Israel brought to you in this first pulpit in your career. We're so grateful for the music, for the prayer that you brought to us, and we wish you the best as you begin the next chapter of your career, of your life. On the East Coast, far away, but I understand. I learned today that Pittsburgh is a hipster city, a great place to live. I have not been there, but I look forward to visiting. So I'd like to invite Ruth Auerbach to, you guys are stumping me, sitting behind me. I can't remember where you are. To share some words for this beginning of your next part of your journey.
Well, actually, it's a little more reminiscent of your journey here. How quickly the 3 years have flown. I was on the search committee when we chose you, and to a person, we knew from the very first video that you were the cantor we wanted. Then you came for the mock service, and that was great with a drum. And you did the service, and it was great, and it was like the ones we were kind of used to, upbeat and full of great music. And then at the end, you asked if you could sing a High Holy Day song. And you chanted Shema Koleynu, and I felt chills. It was so amazing. There was no doubt you were going to fill this sanctuary, no matter how many people were in it. And it was just the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. At that point, I realized you are a true cantor's cantor. Not an opera singer, not a Broadway star, but a real cantor, a chazan. And for the first year and a half, I guess I was one of the lucky few that had seen you with feet and legs. We are eternally grateful to the vast array of music to which you have introduced us, from the concerts with Joey Weisenberg and Nefesh Mountain, to your Shabbat sermons and song, which gave much more deeper meaning to so many of the prayers. And of course, most of all, we appreciate everything you've done. I appreciate, let's talk for myself. I appreciate so much what you have done with Koleynu. You've made me a better singer. You've taught me a lot. I believe that we all feel that way. And the choir wanted to all participate, so we have prepared a little something for you.
All right, thank you so much, Koleynu. That was so really moving and just incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you for preparing music without me. That's such a nice No, it was incredible, and thank you really so much to. I'm not on? Sorry, maybe I'm just mumbling because I'm humbled and just really overwhelmed. I'll try and speak in my cantor voice. Thank you so much to Rabbi Graf, and thank you to Ruth for such kind words and just making my time feel so valued and appreciated, and you're all amazing. I would really like to thank our president, Judy Wexler, for being such an amazing leader for the community, and your patience and compassion and wisdom have been certainly a blessing for me in my time here and a blessing for the congregation. And thank you to the Board of Trustees for trusting some new graduate to steer the prayer and musical life of the congregation through the pandemic and really helping to make me the cantor that I am today. And thank you especially to Rabbi Graff for being really a wonderful example of what a homegrown rabbi can look like and what a homegrown rabbi can be. Her relationships with the community, her deep friendships and connections with Sherith Israel members make for a really, truly special bond. And I've learned so much from Rabbi Graff watching her through her sermons, life cycle events, and really steering me through, the process of what it means to be clergy. And you've shown me that the work of a Jewish professional is not always easy, but it is always deeply rewarding. So thank you. For the wider Sherith Israel community, at my installation 18 months ago or so, I invoked the words of Elu Devarim, and so at the risk of repeating myself a little, but I felt that really I wanted to complete this journey and to talk about what those words mean to me now, the obligations without measure, the things without measure which give us, which a person enjoys the fruits of in this world and the world to come. Kibud Av Va'em, honoring one's father and mother. We see this through the countless intergenerational programs, often at Shabbat. There are parents, teens, younger siblings, sometimes all here for different reasons, and all respecting the importance of community. And on a personal note, thank you for welcoming my own mother when she sometimes wrote embarrassing Zoom comments, and also in person when she came for the high holidays. I know she really felt like this was a wonderful place to be, so thank you for welcoming her. Elu Devarim Gemilut Chasadim, engaging in deeds of compassion. This is very obvious. The work of the Chesed Committee, reaching out to members who need extra support, hamotzi and chicken soupers, spending hours ensuring that all those who are hungry will find sustenance, and the social justice and climate action teams engaging in education, in volunteer work, in lobbying, and the fight for justice. These are just some of the ways that I have seen the Sherith Israel community live our Jewish values. Elu Devarim, Hashkamat Beit HaMidrash, Shacharit ve'Arvit. Arriving early for study, morning and evening. This one is very easy, logging on to Torah study around 9:13 and having 15 people already in the waiting room ready to go on Torah study is just incredible to see the passion and the dedication. And also showing up to our morning tefillah at studio on Sunday mornings and seeing the bright faces of students, seeing the teens arrive early, sometimes for pizza, but sometimes just to pray and hang out. It's incredible. To the 32 B'nai Mitzvah students that I had the privilege of tutoring in my time here. It's really sad that I'm not going to be present for some of your ceremonies, and it's really one of the greatest parts of being a cantor, seeing you take on that study of Torah and that maturity and amazing leadership in your preparation. Hachnasat Orchim, welcoming guests. Through our YAP young adult programs, we have welcomed hundreds of unaffiliated young Jewish people in the Bay, given them a home for spirituality and Jewish community in a time when many are far away from home or their previous Jewish practice. Founding a young adult program with Talia Ben-Ari and seeing it grow and thrive has just given me a great optimism for the Jewish future and a deeper connection to young Jews in the Bay. So thank you to YAP for giving me faith and trust in the Jewish future and also giving me a social life. Bikur Cholim, visiting the sick. So many in our Chesed committee and wider community enact this value, and whether it was making wellness calls, hospital or home visits, thank you to those who let me into their private pain, to their vulnerability, so that we could pray together, laugh together, and acknowledge the preciousness of life together. Hachnasat Kala, providing for the wedding couple. Shout outs to my very first wedding couple, Neil and Taylor there. Thank you to our amazing facilities and venue staff and the Sherith Israel staff who make magic happen for wedding couples in the building, sometimes with multiple events going on at the same time. And thank you again to Rabbi Graff for walking me through the wedding process and really guiding me in my first steps as a solo clergy member. Levayat Hamet, accompanying the dead. Thank you to those who have allowed me to be a part of your mourning process, to share in your grief and support you in times of sadness. Death is a part of life, and as a cantor, I can think of no greater honor than using my voice to sanctify these moments of loss. May the memories of all those we have lost in my time here be a blessing. Iyun Tfilah, devotion in prayer. Thank you all those who've raised their voices in services with me, whether in person or online. Thank you especially to the members of Koleynu. whose devotion to prayer and music is perhaps my greatest joy here in my time at Sherith Israel. Seeing the look on your faces when you love a piece of music and feel its effect on your soul shows me the meaning of prayer, and I will miss our rehearsals, services, and concerts more than I can really express in words. Havat Shalom ben Adam lechavero, making peace among people. Thank you to the Sherith Israel community for being willing to push for peace in Israel, in Ukraine, for the defense of LGBTQ rights and support for immigrants, and fighting for peace in countless ways as a community and for the Jewish people. Ve'talmud Torah keneged kulam. The study of Torah encompasses them all. Sherith Israel is truly a house of Torah, of learning and inquiry, and a community which is deeply grounded in its Jewish values. Exodus 19 tells us that Israel will be Mamlechet Kohanim ve'goy kadosh, a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. And this community, Sherith Israel, the remnant of Israel, is truly a kingdom of priests, of holy people and Torah scholars who live these values of Elu Devarim every day. Finally, as a cantor, I've been so blessed to work with Maestro Jonathan Dimmick, a true master of the organ and clearly the piano as well, one of the great musicians of the Bay Area and the world. Thank you to Jonathan for making our time together such a joy and for bringing so many blessings to our ears and our souls. And I know the musical future of Sherith Israel is in very bright and good hands. I've been so honored to serve as your cantor for the last 3 years, and I know that the things to come are great, that this world to come is great with such limitless blessings and acts of service in this community. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
There are so many blessings in our community, and we're reminded of them all the time when we come together. We always say Shehechianu as we thank God for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to reach this day. I'd like to invite David Robbins to share some words of blessing.
A microphone. We're so high tech. I just asked for the honor of doing this because I've been working with the Cantor a short time, and I'm across the bay, so I'm not here all the time. But I wanted to do this, and I know that there are a number of people that have heard me do Shehechianu before, so I would like to just celebrate. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyon lazman hazeh. Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyon lazman hazeh. Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyon lazman hazeh. Come on, you can do it. Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyon lazman hazeh. Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyon lazman hazeh. Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyon lazman hazeh. Now you have to get into it. Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyon lazman hazeh. 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 Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyon lazman. Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyon lazman hazeh. Now call response. Lazman hazeh. Lazman hazeh. Lazman hazeh. Lazman hazeh. Now all together. Lazeman. Lazeman. Fill the dome. Hazeh. Amen.
Amen.
For you.
Thank you so much, David. What a joy. That is, in fact, a Cantor classic, so I know it quite well. Thank you so much. Cheers.
That's harder than saying Nash and Schmooze 50 times in a row. I invite us to turn to page 282 and stand for Koleynu as we declare that changing the world is truly upon us. Page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Please be seated. We turn to page 295 as we think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We support and mourn with our mourners who are among us. If you are observing Shiva or Shloshim, please stand as your loved one's name is read. We remember tonight Philip Erdberg and support his family. We remember Dolores Chernow and Charles M. Coons. For Shloshim, we remember John Greenspan, Eleanor Johns, Arnold Saltzman, and Yohanan Giovanni Sermonetta. If you are observing Shiva or Shloshim, please stand and share a name with us.
Matthew Mandich.
Arletta Sen, my friend.
Kathleen Matthew.
I'm with him. Oh, Phyllis Schwartz-Finberg.
If you are observing the first year of mourning, please stand and share a name with us.
Carol Browns.
Ron Giffen.
Malcolm Rose.
My mom, Lita.
The yahrzeit anniversaries in our congregation are Stuart Simcha Bernstein, Larry Doan, Alma Fessel, Rose Gorbach, Carol Jean Hemingway, Norma Horn, Theodore Kelter, Sidney Cronish, Amy Lazarus, Martin Ross, Marjorie Hefter Stern, Belle Tillen, Anna Wasserman, David M. Weinberg, David Zuckerman. If you are observing a yahrzeit for a loved one whose name I haven't mentioned, please stand and share that name with us. Zichronam livracha, may the memory of all of these righteous people be a perpetual blessing to us. We stand with our mourners and turn to page 294 for Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal ve'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirtei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayei echon v'yom echon, chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichum. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, Damiran be'alma ve'imru amen. Yehi shma maraba min shemaya ve'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to mourners everywhere. And we say together, amen. Please be seated. Oh my goodness, so many papers in such a small space. First of all, I want to send love to Natalie, whose dad, Chaim Ben Meir, we pray will recover from his health troubles. So our community is with you, Natalie, as you and your family are going through this very difficult moment. We love you. Please join us following services for a festive oneg. You can give Cantor Toby lots of hugs and say all kinds of things in addition to thinking about what you're going to say on the kudo board, which is accessible here from this QR code. I'm going to take one of these home because Zachary Graff loves QR codes, and he will take us right to the kudo board. Tomorrow morning, it is absolutely not true that I will be leading Torah study.
Lies.
So, lies everywhere. It is not true at all. It is true that Cantor Toby Glaser will be leading Torah study. It is his last Torah study as our cantor, and I hope you will join him on Zoom at 9:15 in the morning for a lively conversation. And then there are about 1 million things going on here in this community. In the month of May, I want to point out things that are here because they're so important and there are so many of them. A 5-part series called Part of Life, Death, Dying, and Grieving. There are 4 classes and 1 tour of the cemetery that have been put together lovingly and beautifully by HOE board members, mainly Eric and Diane, who have worked very hard on this, and we are bringing in all kinds of scholars and interesting folks to talk about this very important topic. So they're standalone classes, although they go together nicely. Please join us for one or all. I think you'll find them really, really interesting, and we don't often get a chance to talk about this very important topic. So please register. Information about each class is available in Under the Dome, and the first session is going to be at Sinai Memorial next Wednesday. So please join us for that. And then get on your crazy, crazy disco outfits. Because on Saturday night, May 6th, Cece and Mayaka are going to turn this place into an awesome disco. We're going to have a great time. And we need lots of white pantsuits and things like that. I don't even know what people are going to wear. So anything that you want to say, co-organizers?
And we have a
excellent. We have a lot of really interesting speakers coming in the month of May also. Just mark your calendars for pretty much every single night in May, because we're going to keep you busy. On Monday the 8th, the new CEO of the American Jewish Committee, Ted Deutsch, is going to come right here to speak. It should be a fascinating conversation. All kinds of interesting things going on through our Climate Justice Committee, Climate Action Team. And not on here on May 16th, Rabbi Bill Cutter is going to be leading a salon conversation on the poetry of Yehuda Amichai, who happens to be my favorite poet. So it'll be really fun to get to learn with Dr. Cutter. It's going to be in a very limited space venue, so please sign up. And on Thursday, what does that make it? May 18th, 2 days later, Yossi Klein Halevi, the Israeli journalist, is going to be with us for the Rabbi Martin Wiener Memorial Lecture. It is enormously exciting that we will have him here live.
Yeah, I'm very sad I won't be here.
He's amazing. Well, you can fly back from. Yeah, well, that was going to be on YouTube, so that you can watch from Melbourne. I don't know if it'll be 4 in the morning or what, but but you're more than welcome to join us. Peter, did you have an announcement? Is that why you're walking around the microphone?
There's even more events happening that I should mention. So May 11th, we have Nosh and Schmooze with Jonathan Emanuel. That's our member lunch. And reservations are now open, so please find them on the website on May 11th. And the link will be in Under the Dome this coming Tuesday. And confirmation and ordination Shabbat for our students and rabbinic intern who will become student rabbi or full-on rabbi, real rabbi here for a year with a year-long contract, George L. Schuler. So don't miss that. We'll have a nice celebration after service. Sunday, May 21st, we have the Sephardic Music Festival. And on the 23rd, we have the Congregational Annual Meeting. Look out for an email going out, notice of annual meeting soon. You'll need to register for that and be paid up in your dues to attend. And that is also going to be on Zoom if you can't make it in person. There'll be dinner at 5:30, meeting at 6. And then there's a lunch and learn with Rabbi Graf at Manny's. You want to say anything about that?
Shavuot programming, that's a really long time from now, but we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, and then Thursday night we have a joint program. This is the last Wednesday and Thursday in May with Congregation Emmanuel. So come to all this other stuff first, and then we'll
May 24th and 25th.
Right.
Yeah. All right, that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you to Peter for always keeping us sounding wonderful and for really being so important behind the scenes every week. Thank you so much. It's been a joy working with you. So thank you, Peter. Cheers.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Koleynu. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Cantor Toby Glaser for giving us an opportunity to celebrate you, and we look forward to seeing you in the foyer shortly. Without further ado, what is hiding under?
And then I'd like to do a little explanation.
Okay, I hope it's like a bust of the Cantor or something. I don't know.
That's not very good.
Yeah.
I don't know. We turn to page 5 for Kiddush. Please stand.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei beri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shavat kodsho ואהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר יציאת מצרים כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת
Is it on? Oh, there we go. Well, as many of you know, Toby has been sort of instrumental in me bringing the challahs to you guys every Friday night. So I told him for his farewell, I'd do an extra special one. So we're about to find out if he has a sense of humor. Here's your very special challah.
Love it.
And I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
No, that's not the real one, so hold on.
Still good. Nothing wrong with Trader Joe's. It's better than Molly Stone's challah.
It's not challah, but no, I was trying to find something that was quintessentially Toby. And so I think this will probably do it.
I can tell the shape there. It's, there we go. It is the drum. Beautiful. I love that.
And all the little musical notes represent the members of Koleynu and Jonathan.
Adorable. That's amazing. Hang on.
So that's a real one. That's the real.
Oh, actually, can we get a photo? Do we have someone take a photo? All right. That's cool. That's fine. Yeah. Hang on. Let's get one together real quick. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much. All right. Let's grab a bit of challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avos. Delicious. Tastes like drums.
It's beautiful, Ruth. You could have done a koala, a kangaroo, and options. It's beautiful. We will conclude our service. This is Oseh Shalom, is that true?
Yes.
Oseh Shalom, page 343.
Oseh Shalom bimroma, Yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Oseh Shalom bimroma, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Before you get swamped, I have to tell you, Cantor has a respiratory infection and